Hi there. Welcome to Tamegonit Lodge's Winter Celebration. I'm so glad you're here with us. As you know, 2020's brought an immense number of challenges, canceled events, lack of fellowship, and each and every one of you are probably missing the brotherhood that have brought you back to the Order of the Arrow and Tamegonit Lodge time and time again. But throughout all the hardship, throughout all the uncertainty, one thing has remained constant throughout 2020. The hard work and dedication of the youth of Tamegonit Lodge. Their leadership has led us to accomplish an immense number of things this year, even in the midst of a global pandemic. And while we may not be able to gather today and link arms to sing the OA song or say the obligation together, we still want to celebrate each and every accomplishment by Arrowmen of Tamegonit Lodge. So grab some popcorn, stick around, and enjoy the show as we honor all of our Arrowmen.
Hello, Jake Dean, your 2020 Lodge Chief. Today we'll be talking about the state of our lodge. Some quick numbers. This year our lodge had 3,703 members, 42 Vigil members, about 138 Brotherhood members, and 196 Ordeal members, if I'm saying that correctly. This year, our lodge was able to provide over 51,000 man-hours of service to our council camps. That's about 6,000 per man-hours per induction event, and the rest of those 2,000 per event being taken up by our Service Corps events, the Committee of the Year, as previously mentioned. We were able to achieve thriving status in the performance management program, which required that we conduct over 50% of our elections and multiple other benchmarks, like how much we gave to council, how much service we gave. We got 17 points, which is just over the threshold to get thriving this year. Our theme for this year for NOAC was failure is not an option. Little did the committee know that that was going to be such an important motto for the year. You know, we started out pretty well with our Brotherhood celebration event. That was an event that allowed our officers to become acquainted with their jobs. And immediately after, the CDC declared coronavirus as a pandemic and put us into lockdown. Immediately after that, I know our officers had meetings, and we talked with multiple advisors and previous lodge chiefs to see what we could do, and we quickly decided that once the phases let up, we would start to have very limited capacity inductions. Our first induction went great. We needed to prepare for the summer camp sessions in a way that would allow the camp to be prepared and set up for those sessions. Our induction staff did a great job in setting up our camps in a way that allowed the campers to have a great experience. We had multiple inductions in the weeks leading up to summer camp starting in the first week of July, which exponentially helped the camp be prepared for those campers to come in. You all were the reason that were a big reason why camp went so successfully this year, and our lodge did so much of that, whether it be from service projects in the archery range to cabin building to just general camp cleanup. We were able to come through as a lodge and help our council in a way that no one else could, because of our sheer numbers and our willingness to cheerfully serve our scouts in the council. So, this year we were able to induct members at about 50% of what we normally do, which is phenomenal considering that we had such the tight restrictions that we did. I'm proud to report that we had 0 COVID exposures or cases throughout all of our inductions, which is phenomenal. That is much better than other events that we've seen. Like some family gatherings have even had multiple COVID cases, and yet with your help in our mitigation of the COVID-19 crisis by providing masks to every event attendee, requiring that they be on, and limiting our event to only one night overstay to limit our exposure, we were able to come out with 0 COVID-19 cases. Also, an honorable mention to our admin staff for always checking those temperatures and that temperature seat. A big reason why we had no COVID exposures this year. And then our vigil banquet, we were able to bring out our guides and vigil candidates and have a weekend where they could recognize them for their work that they've done in our lodge, which we didn't know if we were going to be able to have that in the past meetings. We didn't know if we were going to be able to have vigil banquet, but we were able to host that and get 42 vigil candidates for this year that received their vigil honor. You will hear later tonight a few people recognized for the Founders Award, but a couple people that I want to recognize before that is previous current lodge advisor. It won't be after tonight, but current lodge advisor Mark Brewer. Mark, thank you so much for all that you did for us. I want you all to know that Mark has spent 3 long years with us, helping every chief become their best chief. And I want to thank him for his work and the work that he's done to develop youth. And he's accepted a position at the national level, helping other lodges, helping other lodge chiefs, lodge advisors, to strengthen their leadership. And I want to thank him for his work, and I hope to see more from him in the future. I want to also mourn the loss of our previous staff advisor and National Reservation Director, Matt Conlon. As you all know, Matt passed away in October, which had a profound impact on myself and a few other officers. We sincerely miss him, and I want to, remember him as much as possible. Tonight is one way to do it. Matt did so much for us, always making sure that the council knew that we were there, always defending our chiefs. Maybe that's a bad term, but defending our chiefs against some of the politics of being chief and our officers and such. Matt was always there for us, as much as some of us might have had some heated conversations with him. I know I have, but all he cared about was us. He did it for the betterment of ourselves, and I want to thank him for that. And I know he's watching down over us and making sure that we're successful. And lastly, I want to ring in the new year, 2021. I hope that it is as good of a year as it was this year. I have faith in William. I want to thank William for stepping up and all the other officers to make our lodge successful this year. So thank you all. It's been a pleasure to serve as your lodge chief this year, and thank you.
The Vigil Honor is the highest honor that the Order of the Arrow can bestow upon its members for service to the Lodge, Council, and Scouting. Membership cannot be won by a person's conscious endeavors. The Vigil Honor is a high mark of distinction and recognition reserved for those airmen who, by reason of exceptional service, personal effort, and unselfish interest, have made distinguished contributions beyond the immediate responsibilities of their position of office to one or more of the following: their council, their lodge, or their scout camp. With that in mind, it's my honor to present you the 2020 Tamegonit Lodge Vigil Class. Daniel B. Joe Blount. Cameron Brenton. Rohan C. Gabe Kofelt. Zach Cull. Marlene Curtis. Travis Dale. William D. Luke D. Bryce E. Andrew E. Scott Fears. Michael Gardner. Brandy Gar. Justice G. Grant Gose. John G. Michael Guerra York. James Handley. Denver H. Liam H. Patrick Liang. Caleb L. Mike McCauley. Powell M. Sharon Mitchell. Nathan N. Brian Parks. H. David Pendleton. Edward Patrick R. Terrell Schimpf. Don Shapley. Baden Smith. Leslie Stack. Larry Strickland. James Todd Sr. Harry W. Sam W. Misty Welter. Judy Eager. That concludes the 2020 Tamegonit Lodge Vigil Class.
Hello, I'm your Lodge Chief, Jake Dean. I will be talking about Committee of the Year. Our Committee of the Year this year provided service to both council camps whenever they needed it, in constant communication with the Ranger, and help with projects ranging from a new archery range at Camp Nash, cabin improvements, camp setup, camp cleanup, and help at Bartle with the Blue Elk Lodge and other projects needed on their reservation. They helped us provide over 51,000 man-hours of service, and they also led all the work crews on the induction weekends. Our Committee of the Year for 2020 is the Service Corps.
Hi, Tamegonit Lodge Airmen. I hope you've been enjoying the winter celebration so far. This is Kurt Johnson, a longtime leader with the Tamegonit Lodge Service Corps. I'm joining you all in this celebration to highlight some of the accomplishments that the Service Corps has achieved throughout 2020. When we started the Service Corps in 2017, we would have never expected to achieve so much in the first few years of our existence, but we have achieved a great deal and provided an exceptional amount of service to the Lodge and to the Heart of America Council throughout those past 4 years. The service we have been able to provide would certainly not have been possible without a whole lot of help from airmen throughout the Lodge, and we want to thank all of the airmen who have participated in any of our service projects and workdays. Service is one of the main tenets of the Order of the Arrow, and over the past few years in Tamegonit Lodge, service has helped drive our Lodge forward and achieve many new and innovative things. Throughout the year, the Service Corps provided great service at induction events, council workdays, and at our own scheduled workdays. I like to run through some of those major projects that the Service Corps was a part of and some of the other accomplishments that should be noted as well. The Service Corps played a big part in the concrete work done throughout Camp Nash, including pouring concrete pads and retaining walls. Throughout the year, significant work was done in remodeling additional staff cabins at Nash, and the Service Corps was always there to lend a hand in those projects. The Service Corps also provided immense help towards the construction of the new Cub Road archery range, and recently we assisted in constructing the wooden pavilion for the archery range. This has been a big year for the Tamegonit Lodge Great House, as we've completed many housekeeping projects across the entire building. We completed a full photo inventory of our Native American attire, and the exterior lodge flap on the building was repainted. And we will continue to plan further projects for the Great House in 2021. New district camping signs for our events have been machined and stained, and they are ready for use in 2021. We held several workdays in the Nash Trading Post to inventory and organize the building. We have also made it a goal to increase the amount of workdays we hold at Bartle, and we were able to hold several this year. The Service Corps also assisted in the installation of several concrete forms that will be a part of the Nash Pool awning system. Several Service Corps members from the Lodge participated in the cleanup and restoration efforts at Camp Matigua in central Iowa alongside airmen from Matigua Lodge. It was a big year for service in Tamegonit Lodge, and we overcame all the obstacles that we were faced with to hold many incredible service projects throughout the year. We were also able to continue rewarding our airmen who contribute to the Service Corps with our second limited edition Service Corps Lodge flap, and we know a lot of you are still working towards earning that exciting patch. We look forward to being back out at Nash and Bartle in the near future to complete some more exceptional service projects, and we hope to see many of you at those service days very soon. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the celebration.
Hi, my name is James Quickenham, and I am the Central Camp Program Director here at the Theodore Nash Scout Reservation. I was asked to come on and talk to you about one of the new programs we implemented this summer out at camp, which was the Order of the Arrow Legacy Hike. What this was it was a journey from the Great House to our old ceremonial grounds where we used to conduct Ordeal, Brotherhood, Vigil ceremonies before Whippoorwill was constructed up in North Meadow. Now, if you're not entirely sure where the old ceremonial grounds are, you'll have to come out to camp and camp at our Scouts BSA session this summer and get to be a part of the program. I'm not just going to give away all the secrets. Why did we do this? There were two main reasons. One is it is really cool to see an old historic place that's near and dear to the camp. Order of the Arrow has always been a core aspect of the Theodore Nash Scout Reservation, and this is where much of the magic happened for decades. And the other reason was the program was designed to talk about being involved in Order of the Arrow. When we got down there, we had a small little ceremony, and the whole point of the ceremony was, you're arrowmen now, and that's great. We want you to be active arrowmen and participate in the lodge and the chapters and your units. We have one of the largest lodges in the nation, but when it comes to the participation amount, it tends to be a little lacking, a little bit on the sash and dash side. You get into Order of the Arrow and then move on and do something else. But the whole point of Order of the Arrow is that you're being recognized as a leader and you're being asked to serve and help out. And so that was the main idea behind the program, was look at this cool history that we have of Order of the Arrow here. Now it's time to continue that history. Please feel free to get involved, contact lodge officers, contact chapter officers, and just figure out what you can do to help serve the Order of the Arrow and camp. Overall, I think the program went very well. One bummer is it was raining. I wanted to have a little fire, but rain made that very difficult. The trail was a little muddy because of the rain, but nobody died, so that's always a plus. But everybody we got down there seemed to be a good time. Dave Miller was down there, and he actually went around and talked about what it all used to actually look like when in its heyday, which was super cool. I super loved that. And yeah, everybody who went seemed to enjoy it. Now, I wouldn't be a very good program director if I didn't take the last little bit of my time to plug camp staff, because that's my job. So we have plenty of openings on camp staff in all kinds of program areas: aquatics, shooting sports, scoutcraft, nature, STEM. We're looking for all kinds of people to come work at camp. This will be my 10th summer on camp staff. Yeah, the big 1-0, a solid decade. I'm not saying you all need to commit such a long-term deal there, but staff has been one of the greatest experiences in my scouting career, and I would really encourage you all to fill out an application and consider being part of the staff family. It's a family. Many of my lifelong friends I met on staff. So hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Hello, I'm Jake Dean, talking about the 2020 Chapter of the Year. 4 criteria were used by the Vice Chief of Chapters to determine which chapter was fitting for this award, the first being election performance. This chapter had the most elections scheduled out of every other chapter. The second being chapter member attendance at lodge events. This chapter consistently had the most staff and candidates attend events to help make them successful. Chapter chief performance. This chief was a big contributor up until he started college, and even after that came back on some weekends to help with trading post inventory and service projects. Lastly being chapter member service beyond the lodge. Several members of this chapter gave their skills to the committees on this section, region, and national level, helping develop trainings, social media posts, branding, and helping with the development of section conclave at the section level. Grant says, as a former chapter chief who inherited a chapter that was virtually dormant, he always and still does look to this chapter as a model chapter, and he is pleased to vote for Shawnee Trails as 2020 Chapter of the Year. Congratulations, Ethan, and the Shawnee Trails chapter. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brian Pendleton, and I'm the Founders Award Chair for the year 2020. And tonight, I had the privilege of presenting the Founders Award to 4 deserving airmen of the Tamegonit Lodge. Introduced at the 1981 National Order of the Aero Conference, the Founders Award recognizes airmen who have given outstanding service to their lodge. The award is reserved for an airman who demonstrates that he or she personifies the spirit of selfless service, as advocated by the founder, Eleanor Goodman, and the co-founder, Carol A. Edson. In fact, the Tamegonit Lodge was the first lodge in the nation to present the Founders Award in 1981 to 1980 and 81. Tamegonit Lodge Chief Ed Hubert. Founders Award recipients received the golden medallion you see on the screen. Tonight, I would like to present the Founders Award to John Cookingham IV. John kept his vigil in 2006 and has continued to dedicate time to the lodge since. Many of you will see John at induction weekends and summer camp, providing selfless service to our lodge and council. Most notably, John is the volunteer advisor for all induction-related service projects. You can always hear his number, 938, over the radio on any given weekend. Congratulations, John. Next, I would like to present the Founders Award to William Delzite. William kept his vigil in 2020, this year, and has previously served as the Event Registration Chairman and 2020 Vice Chief of Administration. William has conducted the overhaul to more virtual records and helped improve the attendee process for large events. He's on top of everything when it comes to Lodge Master and Lodge data. William will also serve as our 2021 Tamegonit Lodge Chief. Congratulations, William. Our next recipient is Jake Dean, who kept his vigil in 2019. Jake has served as the Tamegonit Lodge patch chairman, designing most of our patches over the past few years, and the 2019 vice chief of program. In 2020, Jake served as our lodge chief, leading Tamegonit Lodge to thriving status in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and making many tough decisions when it came to lodge events and operations to preserve the safety of our airmen. Congratulations, Jake. Our final recipient is Mark Brewer, who kept his vigil in 2015. Mark has previously served as the parking czar, or advisor, as many of you refer to it as, and the advisor to the vice chief program. For the past 3 years, Mark has served as a lodge advisor, mentoring our lodge chiefs Blake, Brian, and Jake, and serving as a representative to the Heart of America Council for Tamegonit Lodge. And the Order of the Arrow. As a whole, Mark has given unselfishly to make sure Tamegonit Lodge has great advisors and great leadership over the past 3 years. Congratulations, Mark. This concludes the presentation of the Founders Award. Let's congratulate our new recipients.
Jake Dean, 2020 Lodge Chief. Today I'll be talking about some of the traditions with the trading over the officers. First, for the chief, we'll do the chief first so that William can introduce his officers. First thing is the chief traditionally wears a lanyard like this with no beads to show humility, essentially. The next thing is this Lodge Chief patch. It is extremely old. William, I'll give this to you at some time, but the Lodge Chief traditionally keeps this with him for good luck. Signed on the back by Alex Call, previous National Chief. Traditionally we'll do the bonnets, but this year we're not able to do that because of COVID reasons. But I'd like to introduce William Delzite as your 2021 Lodge Chief. Thank you.
Good evening, my fellow airmen. 4 years, 8 months, and 8 days ago, I stood in front of the members of my troop as a representative from Tamegonit Lodge conducted an election. I was excited because I was going to become a member of the Order of the Arrow, and I was going to get to wear the sash and the cool necklace. Now, let's fast forward 2 years. I became an airman, and I even sealed my membership in Brotherhood. I heard the words brotherhood, cheerfulness, and service, but I still didn't know what they truly meant. That all changed when my assistant scoutmaster, April Clark, asked me to serve as the OA unit representative for my troop. I served in that role for a year, and I began to pick up more responsibility in my chapter. I joined the chapter election team, and I started going out into my community and helping units choose those among them worthy enough to join the Order of the Arrow. I gained a sense of fellowship beyond my unit as I went, and I began to understand the concept of brotherhood. In 2019, I served as a chapter officer and a lodge chairman working on the administration committee. As my responsibilities grew, so did my sense of what it means to give service to others. In 2020, I served as the Lodge Vice Chief of Administration, and I became a regular at Service Corps workdays. The Order of the Arrow obligation says that in Arrowmen, we will maintain a cheerful spirit, even in the midst of irksome tasks and weighty responsibilities. I have to say that as a Lodge officer, I very quickly understood the part about weighty responsibility, and I was constantly challenged to remain cheerful. Tonight, Jake is passing down the title of Lodge Chief to me. It is now my responsibility to use what I have learned and to embody brotherhood, cheerfulness, and service throughout my term as chief. I have a vision for where Tamegonit Lodge will be 1 year from today, based upon my personal journey as an airman. There are 3 key areas that we need to improve in the next year. Number 1 is our induction experience. I want to ensure that no matter which way an ordeal or brotherhood candidate looks, they will always see a smiling face. I want our induction process to be transparent so that any member can understand what we do and how they can be a part of it. Number 2 is communication with our members. After I was inducted, I spent 2 years doing nothing with the Order of the Arrow, and I deeply regret that. I want every new member to hear from me and from the rest of the Lodge about how they can be activated as a member of Tamegonit Lodge. Number 3 is unit elections, because every election should be meaningful for the candidates. I know that my election was one of the most powerful experiences I have had in the OA because I felt special. The election team and my fellow unit members told me that I was worthy to become a member of something bigger than myself and bigger than my unit. I want every candidate to have that same experience, and so I will provide our elections teams with all of the necessary training and resources that they need to provide that experience. My vision is that 1 year from now, when we gather again for Winter Banquet in 2022, these goals will have become realities. I know that no matter how hard I try, this is not possible if I go it alone. So, I challenge all of you to join your chapter election team, come to our inductions and serve as an Alengamat or a NEMAT, and spread the word about OA and what we do.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Moreno. I'm a star rank and my unit is 6091. And one of my goals is to work with the admin team in order to track 75% of unit elections, visitations, and everything else having to do with elections using the Lodge Master Inductions portal throughout the year. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Owen Marquardt. I'm the Vice Chief of Inductions for 2021. I'm a Life Scout in Troop 123, and this year I really want to try to raise our numbers back up to where they should be and improve the experience for both candidates and staff. So please let me know if you're interested in helping with inductions, and you can email me at vcinductions@tamegonit.org. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carly Welter. I am a Life Scout from Troop 6800 in Gardner, Kansas, and I'm your new 2021 Vice Chief of Program. My goals for 2021 for our lodge include bringing us back together as a lodge. 2020 has been a tough year for all of us, and the pandemic caused us to cancel some big events and limit capacity to others. That, in turn, made it so a lot of us haven't been able to gather together in cheerful service. I plan on finding and continuing new and old ways of coming together in cheerful service. Those events include holding ordeal rallies, one in each area of our lodge, as to be able to connect and be closer to our new ordeals. I'm also wanting to hold 2 lodge leadership development trainings this year, so that we all may grow together as a lodge. I am so excited for this year, and let's make 2021 the best year for Tamegonit Lodge yet.
My name is Luke Thomas. I am currently an Eagle Scout in Troop 67, and as Lodge Secretary, I will keep everybody updated and informed through the quarterly newsletter and through social media. I look forward to working with everyone.
My name is Grant Gose, and I'm a college freshman majoring in Secure Systems Administration and Engineering, and I'm honored to serve as your 2021 Tamegonit Lodge Treasurer. In that role, I have 4 main objectives for 2021. First, I intend to build on the successes of our past Lodge Treasurers. Secondly, I'll be introducing a new financial scorecard that will summarize and simplify the complex financial report that's generated by the Council's accounting software. Third, I will be reporting on financial profits or losses immediately after each major lodge event throughout the year. Finally, I plan to lead an effort to identify a major need for the lodge and organize a fundraising campaign to address that need in 2021. I'm confident it will be a great year for our brotherhood, and I look forward to see each of you along the trail.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the show. Do you see an area you can get involved in Tamegonit Lodge? As you know, a ton of things are always happening, so feel free to reach out. Keep posted here on the YouTube or Facebook page. There's more to come for sure. With that, have a great night and have a great 2021.